The strangest Marvel Rivals tier list. Yes, that's right, I'm sure you've all seen the most professional tier list of what character is best in what season, and if you should be using them, and if the character is great, and if they're the best character in the game, or if they're absolute crap. But today we're not doing that. Today we're making fun tier lists. And the first tier list I want to do is, would they be a good parent? And right off the bat, I'm going to be pretty honest. I think Adam Warlock would probably be like, I feel like he'd be okay. I feel like he'd be like the most boring parent of all time, but he wouldn't be bad. He'd be all right. Black Panther, I feel like he'd never be home though, like, cause he's always out like in the jungle, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he would just be, I feel like he'd be in the jungle too often, you know? I mean, where's dad? Oh, don't know, he's fighting a cheetah. Black Widow has to be the worst mom of all time. No, for real though, no, actually, no, she's gotta go down there. She's a Russian spy who can't even get along with adults. There's no way she's getting along with a child. We gotta change these categories. Instead of D, we're gonna put it as D for Dookie. There you go. All right, we're looking good now. The Hulk. Okay, I think this gotta go here because Bruce Banner would be a great dad. You know what I mean? It'd be great. But then all of a sudden, you come home, you know, and you'd be like, oh my god, dad, I got an F on my science report. And then he gets mad, and then all of a sudden there's some problems in the household. You know what I mean? I feel like Captain America would be one of those dads that you try to tell him something, and then instead of him taking you seriously, he would go, so why do you think what you did there was wrong? And then like when you get punished, he would just like say you're not allowed to breathe. I don't know. Dookie. Cloak and Dagger would actually be really good parents, I'm not gonna lie. But in Marvel Rivals, you know what I mean? In Marvel Rivals, Cloak doesn't have legs. Would their kids be like half ghost and half like human? In the comic books, he has legs, you know what I mean? But in Rivals, would the kids be half ghost? Has nothing to do with them parenting skills, I was just curious. I feel like Doctor Strange would be a good uncle, but not a very good dad. I feel like he goes in C as well, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have reasoning, I just feel like it. Groot would be the best father. Actually, wait, no, he has to go here because his communication would be really bad. Hawkeye's just like Black Widow, I don't know, bro. Hela, wait, we're just gonna put Hela right there instantly in D for Dookie. I think we're all okay with that. Yeah, I think everybody on the same page. All right, good. I feel like Iron Fist and Iron Man both go in C for crap because, like, I feel like they're both similar in the way that I feel like they're just too much about themselves to be a good dad, you know what I mean? I feel like you come home from school and tell your father, Iron Fist, that you got a bad grade, and then he would teach you how to fight so you can beat the teacher up, you know what I mean? That's what I feel like. Jeff, I hate this guy. But I feel like he would be just as good as a parent as Groot. I'm not gonna lie. But again, his communication is just bad. We're just gonna go ahead and put this right here. Okay, Luna Snow. Not gonna lie, I feel like Luna would be a really good mom. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Luna would be a really good mom. I don't know, it feels like she has like mom vibes. But she is like a super mega star though. I don't know. Would she be at home too, or would she be on tour? Wait, she might be on tour. Wait, she might be on tour though. She can stay. I feel like Magic could be a mom. I don't know. If she put the sword down, would she hold the baby and the sword at the same time? That could be dangerous. You know, I feel like I moved the Hulk up one and I put Magic where the Hulk was. I feel a lot better about this. Magneto was literally racist. Mantis gotta go up here too. Low-key, I feel like Mantis would teach you some really good life lessons. You know, she'd be like, this is the leaves and it's life energy, whoa. It'd be like, wow, mom, thanks, you know? Moon Knight, you know, this guy would think that he has kids and he didn't even have any. This guy would go to pick you up from school and you don't even exist. This guy would call your school to make sure you're okay during the day and accidentally call Pizza Hut instead. You know what I mean? And then this guy would order a pizza from your principal. You feel what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You understand? But he definitely goes above Hela. So, there's that. You know, Namor could raise some really good sexist children. You know, he could raise some really good monsters. You know what I mean? But, I feel like he goes in the same category, not gonna lie. Okay, Penny is literally somebody's daughter. I mean, everyone is somebody's daughter. That was a stupid sentence. Penny is literally somebody's daughter, and she still like acts like a daughter, you know, because she's talking about her father. It's her father's suit and stuff. I think she'd be a good mom. Why do we only have the women in the super parent category? Where are the good men? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Men, am I right, ladies? Psylocke is literally an assassin, and I don't feel like anyone who's an assassin could be a good parent. Is that me? Am I just wrong for saying that? Is that a wrong thing to say? I don't know. Okay, I was immediately gonna put the Punisher in D for Dookie, but then I remembered all the stuff that he does for his family, so maybe he goes up a little bit. Maybe he goes in C for Crab. Maybe, you know what I mean? Because he's like, I'm the Punisher. Don't mess with my family. Punish this. Punish this. You know what I mean? And he's talking about, because he's trying to save his family. So maybe Vin Diesel? I feel like Rocket Raccoon gotta go up here. Why did I just put all of the members of the Guardians of the Galaxy in? Okay. Scarlet Witch, unironically, even though she's meant to be like all evil and stuff, and like her father's racist, and like she's still not the best herself, I feel like she'd be a way better parent. You feel what I mean? Like, and we're not off, keep in mind, we're not going off of like other MCU stuff, or like off of, you know, WandaVision. We're going off of just Marvel Rivals. And I think the way that she is in Marvel Rivals, I feel like she goes there, low-key. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, my boy, my #1 of all time. Not in Marvel Rivals, though. I hate that guy. Parent-wise, low-key, he goes there. Not gonna lie, listen. Peter got a couple little spiders running around, you know what I mean? A couple little spider boys running around. That'd be fire. That would be so cute. He'd be like, hey, did you do your homework? I gotta, hey, you know? That'd be cute. Low-key, I think everyone is under the same assumption and the same opinion that she goes up there. Squirrel Girl would be a great mom. She's already a mom to all the squirrels, you know what I mean? Like, she'd be like, and they'd be like, wow, I'm a squirrel. And they just like, you know, hang out. I feel like you gotta be a good mom to want to hang out with some squirrels, you know what I mean? Star-Lord is like too, I don't know. Star-Lord is like too cocky to be a good dad. You know what I mean? You'd go to him and you'd be like, Dad, I don't know, I'm having girl troubles. And he'd be like, loser. When I was your age, I had 6 girls at the same time. I'm the Lord of Stars. Bro's alright. Storm would be a great mom. Storm would be a great mom. Storm just feels, in the game, all she does is buff other people. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? She's always looking over you. Get it? Because he's flying. Oh! I actually think that Thor would be a really good dad, too. So he has to go up there as well. I'm not gonna lie, Thor would be a good dad. Thor would be a really good, yeah. He feels like one of those dads where you could go to him and be like, yo, Dad, can I have $10? And he goes, why would I give you $10? And then you go, because I need this, Dad. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just saying stuff. I think we gotta make another category for this guy here. That's good. I feel like Bucky's conflicted in his life. You know what I mean? He'd be like, it's about time I got a shield. You know what I mean? He's a little jealous. You know, he's still a little mad, angry, if you might say, you know, he's a little angry. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, to be a dad, you got to be like a little less angry and maybe not punch stuff as much with his metal arm and his gun, and he's also an assassin. So I feel like he got to go here. You know what I mean? I feel like he got to go there. Wolverine would change a diaper, and then he would just cut it up to shreds. You know what I mean? He'd be like, I'm gonna change this diaper. And then it'd go, shink. And then like the diaper, it doesn't exist anymore. And hopefully the baby wasn't also in the diaper, because that could cause some problems. You know what I mean? C! We're about to have some bangers. The Fantastic Four, but not the new one. Reed Richards would be a good dad, but he's just too busy with his science stuff, so he goes here, right? He goes an A for awe. Now, stick with me. Sue Storm goes all the way at the top. Now, talk to me nice. She's like, Reed, can we talk? Who needs 4 when you got 1 like me? Fire impression, by the way. Thank you for your applause. Super parents. He's just, you know what I mean? Like, he's just a dad. He feels like the dad of the Fantastic Four as it is. You feel what I'm saying? So he's got to go up there. He's just got to go up there. You know what I mean? He has to. I think no one will disagree with me saying Johnny would be a terrible father, because it's literally Johnny Storm. That's all I got to say. Also, this is not relevant to the tier list at all, but y'all seen the comic books where Johnny's like dating some kind of space worm? Y'all see that? That's kind of crazy though. I'm not gonna lie. You know, despite everybody already calling her mom, I feel like Emma would be a terrible mother. Yeah, I feel like she'd be pretty bad. Yeah, I feel like she'd be pretty bad. I feel like she would be like one of those kind of people that's like, I don't really want children. Like, but she like, you know, she liked hanging out with her nieces and her nephews, but not for longer than 20 minutes because she'd rather be choking somebody. All right, what a great tier list of potential parents, fathers, and mothers. I feel like some people aren't going to agree with this list, so if you feel like I put somebody in the wrong spot, let me know, because I'm genuinely curious if you guys think this list is actually a good parental list or not. And like I said, I want to do more of these, like, just weird, wacky lists, because I see a lot of people, like, a lot of pros and stuff doing, like, best characters 2025, and I'm like, that's cool and stuff, but I want to do a fun list, you know what I mean? So I will be doing more of these in the future. So if you enjoyed it, let me know down below, as always. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Peace.